Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future home buyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of home ownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. License lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 201128110L. Call for additional details.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach in college basketball, hands down.
Vince 2 for 3. He's done his part. Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees aren't even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
To Sports Talk with R&J. I'm Steve Risser along with Justin D'Onofrio, and history was made in the wrong way last night as the Detroit Pistons lost their 27th consecutive game, which is an NBA record for losing streak. They think they broke the Cavs a record in 2011. They lost 26 in a row. So this is really, really bad for this organization. And the big question is now is Monty Williams the right guy to lead this team? And I know it's 1 year. I don't think he is. I don't think Monty Williams is the right guy to lead this team. I don't think he is. I think that change has got to be made. I know that it's 1 year, but I think a change. I know they pay him a ton of money, but I think a change has got to be made. I can't see a team coming back from losing 27 in a row and bringing back the coach the next season. Cade Cunningham is still a really, really good player. But you know, there's still some there's talent with Cunningham and Bogdanovich. They should not be losing 27 straight games. It's just not good at all. And Jaden Ivey as well. He has regressed. So I don't think Monty Williams is the right guy. I know he did a good job in Phoenix, but I don't think he's the right guy for the Pistons.
Yeah, I don't think he's either. But what, you get $80 million?
I know.
That's a lot to buy out a coach. That's, so that's the thing. I don't think he's a guy either. Funny thing is, this team started out 2-1, losing. Now 27 straight is impressive. To lose that many in a row, and yeah, this team's not very good. But like the problem, the thing is, it's kind of like his way or the highway, because it's tough to kind of fire him. And like last night, they're down 5 with like 38 seconds left, something like that. Cade Cunningham, who was on a tear of late, and he ends up running a play for Alex Burke, and it's like, why? Like that's
why would you run a play for Alex Burke when Cade Cunningham scored 40 points?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. So, and the problem is, like, this is not the year to tank. And the other thing is, no team is going to want to like be the team that kind of ends this losing streak. So, like, you're probably going to get every team's, like A or B game, because they don't want to be embarrassed by you. So they're playing at Boston tomorrow. They might be a 20-point underdog, which I would think would be a record in an NBA game, but yeah, I could be wrong. Like this team's bad, and yeah, Monty should not be the guy for this team.
No, he shouldn't be. And I don't care if it's 1 year. I really don't care. This team is supposed to grow with Cade Cunningham, not regress the way it has. So no, I think I don't care if it's been 1 year. I think you got to move on. I really do think you have to move on. I don't care if it's been 1 year. You got to move on.
Yeah, you have to. And funny thing is, Kevin Ollie was like the lead guy for a while until Monty got fired. So this could be Kevin Ollie right now.
Oh my
Instead of Monty Williams.
Man.
So.
Oh man, what an organization! What an organization!
Yeah.
The big question is who's going to win more games, the Lions or the Pistons?
Oh, it's got to be the Lions.
It might end up being the Lions.
Double digits.
They might get to double digits. I don't know though. I remember the Sixers 1 year in 2016. They had like 10 wins.
9.
So who knows? They're going to get
Hornets.
The Hornets
have like 9
in the strike year. They had like 8 wins.
Yeah,
they were like 8-50. Yeah.
Okay. There was a strike year. Okay, so how many? I don't know how many more times they put the Wizards.
I know.
They get the Wizards a couple times. They could steal them still. Yeah, it's they got them 4 times still, so they can pick up a couple there.
Probably. Yeah,
so,
they should be able to pick up a couple against the Wizards. Yeah.
But maybe the team the double digits, but it'd be awfully close right now. It's bad.
Yeah.
And you mentioned there's talent here.
Yeah. With Cunningham, with Bogdanovich, even Jaden Ivey, who has regressed this year. There's talent there too.
Yeah, there is. And like the other thing is this team can't shoot 3, so it's not like they can go on like a 12-15-0 run.
And that's why they've lost. That hits the nail on the head. That's why they've lost 27 in a row. If you can't shoot threes in the NBA in 2023, 2024, you are going to lose games. And Cade Cunningham's not the best. Their best player is not a great three-point shooter. If you can't shoot threes, that's how you're going to lose games, because you're right. A lot of teams could just go on run. They get behind. They can just go on runs hitting three-pointers. This team can't.
Yeah, there's 29th going behind the Grizzlies. I think they're about 33%.
And the Grizzlies have played without John Morant for 25 games.
Yeah, and you've seen the Grizzlies haven't, the Grizzlies now have been a roll since he came back. So it's bad. Cade Cunningham is not a great 3-point shooter, and Jaden Ivey has not shot the ball well either. You got Jalen Duran, who really can't shoot the 3 either. So if you got 3 guys right there that are your starting lineup that can't shoot 3s. I know Isaiah Stewart's shooting like 40%, but he's not a guy that you really want taking 8 or 9 a game. He kind of did a couple, but this Pistons team is bad. Isaiah Collier a nice player, but he ain't gonna be a superstar, and that's another point guard. It's not good in Detroit. It's ugly. It is bad.
It's very ugly. They've broken a record, and it just seems, and it does not look like it is getting better anytime soon there. But now we can, because this is over. I think the losing streak's over, and the college football playoff is coming. We need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about the Pistons anymore because they are just absolutely terrible. So let's move on to the college football playoff, and humongous game between Bama and Michigan. Humongous game between. This might be one of the highest rated games. You got the best program in college football over the last 15 years in Alabama, and then you got Michigan, who has been the big story because of the cheating scandal. Harbaugh will be on the sidelines at the Rose Bowl. This might be one of the highest rated college football games ever. This might rival USC Texas in terms of rating. So this is a huge game. And before we pick the game, make the predictions, we'll give our keys to the game. And I'll start with you, Justin, with your keys to the game for Alabama. What are your keys to a Bama victory against Michigan?
Number one for me is Bama's got to get out to a lead. It's a spot where Michigan hasn't been all year, and we kind of saw last year when Michigan got behind, their offense they had to get away from their offense, and it was problematic for them. So Bama can get out to a lead, something uncharted territory for Michigan. I think that's gonna be huge. And my second one in this one, second key is Milroe. Can he take the top off this defense with Jeremiah Burton? That's kind of been his top kind of deep threat guy all year. And I think that's going to be huge for Alabama. They could kind of hit some big plays against this defense. They really have not seen a quarterback like Jalen Milroe all year. The scrambling ability and a guy
this is by far the best quarterback they've seen all year. I think it's going to be. He's better than Drew Aller. He's better than Tua's brother. He's definitely better than Kyle McCord. This is the best quarterback they've seen all year.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they in non-conference play, they did not play anybody that could rival Jalen Milroe as well. So they really haven't seen anybody that could scramble like this either. So this is going to be a tough test for Michigan. My third one is on the Bama's defense side of the ball. Can you slow down Michigan's rushing attack? I know they struggled against Auburn, but kind of more of a scrambler. McCarthy can scramble. I don't know how much Michigan will try to use that, but against Georgia, Alabama only gave up 78 yards, and Georgia, Michigan kind of have a very similar type where, a lot of stuff kind of under center. They're going to try to pound you up, try to wear you down up front. And Bama did a good job against that style. Can they kind of, can Alabama do kind of the same type of thing against Michigan? I think it's going to be huge for them. So those are my three keys there for Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide.
My three keys are: first, Milroy's got to stay hot. Last 6 games, 26 touchdowns, 3 INTs. He's got to continue to stay hot because if he does, I think there's no way that Alabama loses this game in the Rose Bowl. Number 2, contain the running game. It's interesting with Alabama. Auburn ran all over them, but they were able to contain Georgia's running game, and that was the biggest reason why they were able to win the SEC championship game and beat Georgia and get to the playoff, was because they were able to contain the running game. And then number 3, get pressure on JJ McCarthy. If you can get pressure on McCarthy, especially with Dallas Turner, I think you could force mistakes from JJ McCarthy. So it's pretty much Milroy containing the run game and getting pressure on McCarthy with Dallas Turner. If Bama does all three of those things, I think they're definitely winning this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Michigan's, Alabama can do those 3 things. I think they're gonna have an excellent shot to win that football game. It's you give Nick Saban 30 days of prep, he's gonna have a great game plan going in.
Oh, absolutely. Now, the keys to the game for Michigan, I'm going to start with you, Justin. What are the keys to Jim Harbaugh's squad finally getting past the semifinal in the college football playoff?
Yeah, Harbaugh struggled in these spots. He's 0-2 now in the playoffs. So for Michigan, number 1 is contain Jalen Milroe. Do not let him escape outside the pocket. Got to make him try to make him strictly a pocket passer. We've seen Milroe. He's been great kind of being able to throw the deep ball, but you kind of contain him through the pocket, make him kind of take stuff underneath. He's not as good. So you can kind of keep him in the pocket there. That's going to be huge for him. And then for Michigan as well, the offense kind of like last year, they did not, a lot of they made a lot of kind of unforced turnovers in the game. McCarthy threw 2 pick sixes. They had a fumble, I believe, inside the 5-yard line. Like, they kind of shot themselves in the foot. You can't do that against a team like Alabama. They will make you pay for it, and you're not going to be able to overcome that. And my third one is for the Michigan offensive tackles. Those 2 have really showed at times this year, and now you're going up against 2 guys who are future stars who are going to be playing on Sunday. Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell. Can you contain those 2 and keep them from getting after JJ McCarthy and putting pressure on him multiple times, hitting him, knocking him down? And if Michigan can kind of protect, at the tackle spots, give McCarthy time, I think Michigan's gonna can have success, throwing the football downfield and having their offense kind of be able to make some plays against the Bama defense.
Yeah, mine are get the run game. Obviously, get the run game going. That's the biggest thing with with Corum Edwards. You have got to get the run game going. We saw against Iowa when their run game was contained, they scored 2 touchdowns on short fields. They have got to get this running game going and moving against Alabama. They have got to do that if they've any chance of winning. Number 2, you just can't let Turner wreck the game. You got to contain him because Dallas Turner could wreck this game. Because he's a really good pass rusher. He's a player we're going to see on Sunday. So you cannot let Dallas Turner wreck the game. And number 3, do not be conservative. You saw at times against Penn State, they ran the ball on 3rd down. They were more aggressive against Ohio State. They need to be aggressive. They need to play. They cannot be conservative because you're not going to beat Alabama being conservative. Because Jalen Milroy will, and this Alabama offense will beat you if you're conservative. You cannot be conservative and expect to win this football game. Michigan has got to take chances. If they want to be playing in the national championship game, they can't be conservative. They got to take chances in this game against Alabama.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to take chances in this one because you're not being Alabama throwing the ball 8 times. You're just not. Alabama's gonna shut you down, and it's gonna be a tough day for McCarthy and that offense. And so yeah, I think that's a huge one. Now, Harbaugh first couple of plays, come out with like a trick play, a gadget, something, something to kind of open this thing up early on. Like, yeah, you got to be aggressive because, you can't really sit on the lead here and expect to beat Bama. They will, they will make you pay for something like that.
Oh, absolutely. 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 So now talking about the game. For me, I think this game is going to be I think it's going to be a really good game. I do think Bama is going to contain Michigan's running game, but I do think McCarthy's going to make some plays. But I also think Milroy's going to make some plays. They're going to be able to run the ball with McClellan and Williams, and I think Milroy's going to make plays. I do think Bama's getting to the 30s. They've averaged over 40 points a game in their last 8 games. I think Bama is getting to the 30s, and I just think that they'll be the more aggressive team. They're the better offensive team. And that's why I think they're going to win this game, because they're the better offensive football team. They're going to move the ball better. They're going to score more touchdowns. I think J.J. McCarthy's going to have a good game, but I think he's going to have a little bit of trouble keeping up with Bama's offense. And that's why I got Bama playing for another national championship. I got Bama beating Michigan 31-24. But Justin, can Jim Harbaugh finally get over the hump in the semifinals and get Michigan to the national championship game?
I'm with you. I got Bama 27-23. You give Saban 30 days to kind of figure out a game plan here, and Jim Harbaugh 0-2 in the playoffs and 1-6 in bowl games at Michigan. So not great. And a couple of things from, stats wise in the last 5 games. So this is right around when the cheating scandal kind of came about here. Take these with a grain of salt. I'm not saying it's because the cheating scandals have derailed these stats, but last 5 games for J.J. McCarthy, 1 touchdown passing, 1 INT.
Wow.
Blake Corum this year, average yards per carry, 4.7. Last year's 5.9. Donovan Edwards this year, he's down to 3.5. After last year, he averaged 7.1. So it's cut in half this year. I'm not saying this, but it's kind of a little bit eye-opening that they've kind of struggled offensively the last couple of weeks. So I think Bama's going to be able to kind of slow them down in this one. I think it can be, I think Milroe plays well. I don't trust J.J. McCarthy at all. It's so funny how people still think he'd go in the first round. I'd be scared.
Stop it. Yeah.
I'd be scared if my team picks him in the first round. So I got Bama win this one. I trust Nick Saban more, and I don't see be unbelievable coaching job by Nick Saban after what this team went through in South Florida to win that game 17-3. To everybody call it tuned them out. This is your national champion right here too, right? You picked them for the year, right?
Yeah, it did. I did. I picked Bama for the season, but yeah, I know. I mean, everybody counted them out for the South Florida game, but yeah, outstanding job. Had some great wins. They won at LSU. They beat LSU. They beat Tennessee. Obviously, Georgia in the in the SEC championship game. But yeah, an outstanding coaching job by Nick Saban this year to get Bama to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he said before the season, or this was during the season at one point, this is the most fun I've had with a group. I think it's because he does, kind of the more chip on their shoulders this year, and I think probably the less pressure, and I think maybe helped his team out. So yeah, I just every time you kind of look, you kind of think Alabama's done, and kind of get rid of them. They find they come out and prove everybody wrong. So I think they go on to another, keep playing another national championship game.
Yep, and we will now talk about the second semifinal game between Texas and Washington. And I think I will first go to our keys to the game. And Justin, what are your keys to the Longhorns getting to the national championship game?
For me, Texas, they got to be good in the red zone. They're 90th this year in scoring percentage. They're 90th in the country in scoring percentage when they enter the red zone. That's not great, and you're playing a Washington team that's going to put up points. You got to get touchdowns instead of field goals, so that's going to be huge for them. Also for the Longhorns, they got to play a complete game like they have the last 2 weeks. This has been a team that has kind of fallen asleep at times at the wheel. They'll put it on teams early, kind of take their foot off the gas, let them back into it. This has got to be kind of a complete 60-minute effort from them, because Washington could score quickly, and they could put up 21 points on you fast. And then my third one is Quinn Ewers in this offense. They got to attack that weak secondary of Washington. They rank 123rd in pass defense, the Huskies do. It's very vulnerable. And if Quinn Ewers can kind of pick apart this defense, Texas should have a big day. And Texas going to have a chance. And it's going to feel like a home field advantage there, because the game's being played in New Orleans. So not too far for Texas, while Washington fans got kind of, got to take a flight down there to New Orleans for this one. So it's going to be a home crowd as well for them.
Yeah, for me, my keys are contain Dylan Johnson, because you saw when Washington didn't run the football against Arizona State, they almost lost that game. So contain Dylan Johnson, get their running game going, because obviously Ewers will play well if they're able to run the football, and then Ewers has got to play the way he did against Alabama, not Oklahoma. If he does that, Texas will have a good chance of winning this game against Washington.
Yeah, I agree. If Dylan Johnson would be a huge one, because Texas still go up front defensively, and Washington I think is solid offensive line. I think it's solid. But yeah, like this is gonna be a really tough task going up against this defensive line of Texas, and they really showed they weren't able to get the running game going or not struggle, but yeah, you mentioned the Arizona State game. They really they struggled to put that game away. They needed like a late pick six there to get it done. So yeah, Washington, those keys are gonna be huge for them to knock off Texas here.
Absolutely. And the keys to the game for the Huskies, we'll go to you first, Justin. For the keys to the game for the Huskies.
Yeah, my first one here in this one, kind of same thing as the Texas one here. Michael Penix in that offense has got to expose his weak secondary at Texas. It's probably the weakest link here of that Longhorns team. And, Michael Penix, I think he looked a lot healthier in that Pac-12 championship game. Now he's got about 30 days here to rest again. So I think you're going to get a healthy Michael Penix. And this trio of wide receivers that the Huskies have are healthy too now. And this is like an offense that just the wide receiver wise that, Texas have not seen yet this year. So Penix can kind of, have a big day against that secondary. It's going to be tough to stop them. My second one here is the pass rush for the Huskies. They got to get to Quinn Ewers. They can't let him sit back there. They only have 19 sacks on the year, and that's last in the Pac-12 this year. But he's and Braylon Trice, who he could go in the first round. He does lead the country in 68 QB pressures. So he's been somebody that's been able to get to been able to get pressure, just hasn't been able to get the sack. But if Washington kind of get pressure on Ewers, force them to make a couple turnovers too, I think they got a good chance to win the game. And lastly for me is a close game match. I got to give to Washington. They've won 9 games this year by 10 points or less. Texas won 5, but Kellen DeBoer against Steve Sarkisian, I think it's close in the fourth quarter. I'm giving the edge all day long to Kellen DeBoer.
You got it, because you're not a Sarkisian guy.
No, not at all. He's done. I will admit, this was the year I thought he had to win the Big 12. They've looked very convincing the last couple weeks. I will give him some props this year. He's got a very solid team going to the SEC next year. They're ready. We'll see how they do, but that team's ready to go to the SEC. They got the bodies. They definitely that conference up front.
Yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are. And my key to the game for Texas is you got to contain Dylan Johnson. That's the key, I think, to Washington's offense. If you contain Dylan Johnson, Washington's offense isn't as good as it is when he's running the football well. So contain Dylan Johnson, get their run game going. That obviously will make life easier for Quinn Ewers. And then Ewers is going to have the game. Yeah, the game he had against Bama and not Oklahoma. That's what he's got to do for Texas. And then for Washington, for me, of course, Dylan Johnson. He's got to get going. Dylan Johnson. I think I just repeated my points for Texas there, but so I'll get to my points for Washington. Dylan Johnson, he's got to get going. That's the big key for Washington. As we talked about Dylan Johnson, when he gets going, the offense is better. We saw, as I referenced in the Arizona State game, that they won 15-7. When he didn't get going, they definitely struggled in that game. Penix has got to play like he did against Oregon. Penix has got to play really, really well for them to win. Penix has got to play like he did against Oregon. So it's a good Texas offense, and Penix has got to play well. And you said it; they're going to be on the road, kind of on the road with the Texas fans in New Orleans. So they got to do that. And then last, they got to force Ewers to make mistakes like Oklahoma did. Oklahoma forced Ewers to make mistakes early in the game. That's a big reason why they won the game. So those are my keys for Washington to win this game.
Yeah. Ewers, if you force Ewers to make a couple mistakes, and you saw that Texas team. You saw that game they lost to Oklahoma. They should have won that football game, but the couple of mistakes they made, the late kind of coaching decisions there by Stark cost them that football game. And Dylan Johnson is going to be a huge X factor in this one. So Washington do that, force Ewers to kind of make some mistakes, man. Washington's got a great shot here to kind of yet again kind of surprise some folks here to get another win.
Absolutely. So our prediction for the game. I'll start. I think this is a game where Dylan Johnson has a pretty good game on the ground. I think Michael Penix plays well. I think the difference in this game is going to be, I think Penix makes less mistakes than yours. I think this Washington defense is going to force yours to make mistakes. And I think Penix outplays yours. I think that's the difference in the game. That's why I'm going to take the Washington Huskies to get to the national championship game. I got them beating Texas 27-23. But Justin, can the Longhorns get to their first national title game in 14 years?
No, I'm with you. I got the Huskies 38-34.
Oh, wow.
I got Kellen DeBoer. Yeah. 103-11 is his record as a head coach. That's including D2 at Fresno, now Washington. It's a 90% winning percentage. Like, this guy does not lose football games. I got Washington. This team, I count them out against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. I know a lot of people did. I think you were with me. Did you take Washington in the Pac-12? I think you did, right?
No,
did you take Oregon?
I think I took Oregon.
Okay. We were both kind of on Oregon. A lot of other people were across the country. I'm not counting this team out. I think this team's going to win the national championship game. I really do. I think Michael Penix is going to do it. And
Pac-12, very, very underrated conference in college football.
It was this year. They had at some point 6, 7 ranked teams. It was the best conference of football this year, and maybe the first team since what? When's the last team?
Last Pac-12. I think maybe USC in 2004.
Yeah, USC 03. Yeah, would be so. Yep. So be a while, and that's gonna how the Pac-12 is gonna that would be the most Pac-12 thing ever too.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It would be so
to win a national title.
Yep. In their final year, that'd be their their goodbye there to the college sport landscape. So I'll take Washington. I got Washington going to New Orleans, getting the win.
Should be interesting. We both got Washington and Alabama in the college football playoff, but there should be two very, very entertaining games because they're two evenly matched teams. Should be two very entertaining games on New Year's Day.
Yeah, it should be excited for both of them. Should be, hopefully last year we got 2 great semifinal games. It's about time. And this is the kind of the year where a lot of kind of teams were very evenly matched. And it's a year where it's really wide open. Any of these 4 can win it. And it really hasn't ever been like this in a while that I could kind of remember, where you really go into this playoffs knowing any of these 4 teams could win this thing. And that's kind of what you hope for. And we're getting it this year. So it should be 2 really fun games, the Rose Bowl and Sugar Bowl. And should be 2 outstanding matchups.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up, we'll quickly go through the other New Year's 6 games, and we'll start with the Ohio State and Missouri game. And I think this game is close and competitive, but I think the difference in this game is I think Missouri has the experience at the quarterback position, and I think that's what's going to be the difference in this game. The experience of Brady Cook, I think it's going to be the difference. You got Corey Schrader on the ground. I think he has a big game on the ground. I think it's close and competitive. I know Marvin Harrison Jr. as of right now is playing, but I'm going to take Missouri in the upset. I'm going Missouri here to win to win the Cotton Bowl 27-24.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Missouri 2023. This is maybe one of the biggest games Missouri football has played in, and I think they're going to be motivated. They don't have any opt-outs right now. The few transfers they have are backups. So I know right now Marvin Harrison Jr., Trayvon Henderson, JT Tamalolo, and tight end Kate Silver for the Buckeyes. They've all been practicing this week. So as of right now, I'm guessing they're going to play, but it's still motivation. I think Missouri's going to be fired up for this game, and I think they want to go out there and prove a point to the rest of the world. And I think they're the 3rd best SEC team this year. And how great is Ohio State? I don't still really know. They should have lost to Notre Dame. Michigan, they lost at Michigan. Penn State, they didn't look overly dominant. So I'll take the Tigers in this one, 2023.
We got an SEC Big Ten matchup another SEC Big Ten matchup. We got an SEC Big Ten matchup in the Cotton Bowl as Ole Miss faces Penn State. And I think this game is up and down the field. I think Drew Aller has a big game. I think Singleton has a big game. I think Katron Allen has a big game. I think Lambert Smith has a big game. And I think that Jackson Dart is a big game too. I think the Penn State's defense does contain Junkins in this game. I think it's close and competitive. But I'm going to take the Nittany Lions to win another big New Year's 6 bowl game. I got Penn State, even without Chop Robinson. I got Penn State winning this game 34-27 over Ole Miss. But Justin, can Lane Kiffin win a New Year's 6 bowl?
No, I'm with you. Get the Nittany Lions 31-28. Penn State right now looks, I know Chop Robinson's gonna be out. The tackle, I can never pronounce his name. Did practice yesterday with the team, so I would think he's gonna go as well. Things have changed, but Drew Allen's been good this year. He only threw one interception. Like I get some mediocre.
And I was at the game. I was at the game when he threw that interception
game
against Indiana.
Yeah, the one team. Even though Indiana's defense is okay, it's not bad, but yeah, like the one game you wouldn't expect them to throw one. Like he's kept the ball out of danger. Why Jackson Dart's been very up and down this year. I could see him making a mistake or two. And Penn State defense is pretty good, and I don't trust Ole Miss defense. So two coaches that, I don't really trust in big moments and big games, but they got to take one of them. So I'll take James Franklin because I think they got some more athletes than Ole Miss does as well.
Alrighty, we got the Orange Bowl between Florida State and Georgia, and I fear Florida State has a bunch of opt-outs in this game. I think Georgia cruises here. I think Georgia cruises and wins at 41-10. Justin, I'm assuming you got the same.
Yeah, it's gonna be ugly. I got 24-3 Georgia. Florida State's over 20 guys have opted out. Like,
what about Georgia? Does Georgia have a lot of guys opting out of this game?
Brock Bowers and Mins did not travel the team, so I'm not assuming they're gonna play.
But they'll still have their quarterback.
Beck's coming back, and most of their stars on defense are not draft eligible yet. So I believe most of them are going to go. So I think Georgia's going to have most of the guys. Now, the thing is them with motivation. Like I know they want to be playing for national championship. You're not going to get it, but you're going to be playing a bunch of backups. So, Tate Rodemaker was starting up, was practicing with the team and was going to be the starter until before the team left to travel down to Miami. He told the team he was going to go in the portal. So now, now they got to start third string again. So that's kind of changing their plan. So I got Georgia win this thing big, and this is going to be ugly. And I was looking forward to this one, but I kind of figured there was going to be a lot of opt-outs when this thing was announced. But this is going to be ugly. I don't know how much of this game I'll be watching.
And we'll wrap up talking about Liberty and Oregon. I think Oregon wins this one big with 45-17. Bucky Irving, big game. Bo Nix, big game. Throws 4 or 5 touchdowns. I'm going with Oregon in a rout over Liberty.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got
Fiesta Bowl.
45-20. Yeah, I'm with Ducks as well. 45-21. Ducks are going to dominate up front, that line of scrimmage. Bo Nix is expected to play. So, a little surprising. I think this is only going to help his stock, because Liberty's defense hasn't really seen anything like this year. Now, the thing is, though, that could make this thing interesting is Liberty runs a unique kind of spread option type. And
of course, you got to defend the non-power 5 school in college football.
Yeah, I like the same thing college basketball. love the little guys like Indiana State basketball wise. They got Robbie Avila, college basketball, Nikola Jokic. Guys,
oh, wow.
Indiana State's my favorite team to watch right now, college basketball.
Wow.
But Caden Salter, he's a dual threat guy, great athlete. Like Oregon doesn't really prep for this offense. They kind of takes their foot off the gas. Like I can see Liberty putting up some points, but I got the Ducks 45-21. If they're there, their starters play most of the game. They should roll the Liberty Flames. They had the worst strength of schedule in college football at the FBS level this year.
Yeah, Oregon should win that game big. But that is going to wrap up this week on Sports Talk with R&J. For Justin D'Onofrio, I'm Steve Risser. We will be back next week talking about Week 18 of the NFL season and the national championship game. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach in college basketball, hands down.
Fins 2 for 3. He's done his part. Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees aren't even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts. including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting ClovercrestMedia.com.